You got me laughing and chuckling. You know what? Because the way you put it, I thought by now people should have discarded this talk about zoning. Is that still evident in the state? If you don't zone, because you're saying now is our turn, and the way you kept about it, I said to myself, this kind of possible.
The has no spare key from one.
No, there's no spare key. As far as the bill is concerned, there's no spare key for the domain. There's no magic is going to prove. No, is it you? Are you now saying that after 8 years of an Isakoman, then you now go back again and give it to another Isako? What is for?
We just mentioned the Senate. I mean, political ambition could be anything.
Yes, let him go. Let him aspire to anything. If they believe that everyone is welcome. But the position is, as far as I know, the governorship of Edo is out of it.
Okay.
Yes.
But you do admit that there are other positions that...
Yes, he could go for the Senate. He has the means to win the place. Okay, why not?
You have been in a Ministry of Information. Tell us, how does it work? Oftentimes what happens is that there's always an official statement, but oftentimes a lot of people don't believe that official statement. Do people in the Ministry of Information realize this? And if they do, why do they keep it up?
Well, you see, it's not a thing that you're just going to work on. It depends on the information that the government is willing to give out to the information officers to disseminate. Now, if you don't have the proper information, what are you are expected to make a press statement? You know what I'm saying now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you, let me try and paint a picture. There was an incident whereby some group of people were meeting, and a sitting president of the country walked into the place and said, look, Mr. Minister of this, if I were you, I will disband so commission. Now, the minister said, yes, sir. Then the next thing is that a man that is experienced, that is among them, kept quiet and was looking, and said, he knows that the minister will go to him and say, look, go and do a press statement and disband this thing. He wanted to know, by the time the president was about walking, I was asking, Mr. President, could you let us know what this boy have done? He said, no, they are this, go and sack them. The man said, no, do you realize that they were elected the way you were elected? If we have to sack them, we must give reasons. That was when they now supported this experienced administrator. So there are so many things that information officers assignment that they are given, go and do this, but they are not given the necessary background and information. So it is usually difficult for them to manage this type of information. If the presidency has refused to let Mr. Abati to, or rather allow Mr. Abati to say, this is what Ojadome has done. Like, look at this one, the former chairman of National Population Commission, where this Dr. Odumegwu, when he was removed, nobody knew, there was no clear statement as to why he was removed. But we saw the president there about 2 days ago when he was swearing. He now gave a clear reason it was as a result of some corruption or whatever act. That was why he was removed. So the truth is that let the government learn how to give out information as to the exact position of what is happening, so that they now begin to believe information that come out from government.
But in cases where it's not clear, or or where maybe perhaps you're trying to give a soft landing to, because I know that, I mean, one would think that if you're going to be removed as minister, it definitely comes with its own, when I say emotional challenges, and there really is no soft landing for that kind of action.
Until our government now begins to look. If you want me to be an information officer, if you want me to be your information officer, if you want to go, you must give me a clear picture of what to say. Then I will now go out and relate this. But once this is not done, most people just pick that job, they take the job and take everything. That's why we are asking for professionals to manage media organizations.
But the major question here is believability. Even if government gives a reason and the reason doesn't sound credible, I mean, for every single minister that has been mentioned now, ranging from even from the president's former chief of staff to these other ministers, it doesn't seem that the reasons that have been given, are truly logical. A lot of people are cynical as to what the reasons that has been given.
Well, it is now left for government now. I presume that they are listening to us. The first thing government has to do, they really have to correct themselves and begin to give their information managers the right facts, information about the officers they are dispensing the office.
What would you do differently?
Me?
Yes.
Look, that is, if I'm to manage any of them, if you ask me, for instance, for the case of Ogiadume, and you ask me, okay, Ogiadume is to, when they will leave him of his appointment, I will ask the president, what did he do? Why you will leave him of his appointment?
He was going to go and political office in Edo State.
Political office in Edo State. When did the government just realize that he has to go for political office now?
But that's what they say.
Yes, but what we are saying in effect is that I would have asked the president, no, this will not sell, Mr. President.
You mean you will tell me something?
No, why not? That is why I'm the information manager. He is not an expert in that area.
But even is it up to you?
No.
There have been times when the information ministers, or information, I don't know, officers, are just told, come up with a reason. Isn't that why
you don't ask me to come up with a reason? You're asking me to go and lie. And that's not professional.
Do they really know this?
Yes. If you are trained, you must know. You can't ask me, go and come up with, so I will not do it.
Yeah,
that is why we are saying that let professionals begin to manage.
Beautiful. You use the conditionality if you are trained. So in other words, you must be an expert to actually take over some office.
Yes.
So in this case of information management, you must be.
Look, an ability to write essays does not make you a media expert. Well, you may know the quantum of essays you write. Does not make you a media. You must be trained. Do you know the jobs you've been doing here over the years? No, suddenly somebody will come up from the university one day and say because he knows how to speak BB grammar and come over, he cannot become chamberlain overnight. You really have to work. These things require training, day-to-day practice. So if you know, as an information officer, that you are being told to go and lie, you tell the president, no, I will not lie. I cannot do this. Tell me what to tell the public.
Is that really possible?
Yes, it's possible.
Let us be realistic. Can you really tell an elected political office holder, as someone who was just appointed, that I cannot do this? It's not professional.
Yes, I cannot do it. You have two options. Either if the president knows that you say, look, I can't do this, he will ask you, go. You go away. What is in that office that most of them are running away from? They don't want to leave. If you put your foot down and your principal knows that you are that type of a person that he cannot ask you to go and manufacture lies and you do it, then he will come up before he calls you. He will think about what to tell you that will be sellable. And this is the problem, because these things have been repeatedly done. That's why people no longer believe what comes out of government, and it's not helping government.
For instance, look at this now. Ismaila John says, well, Labaran Mako wants to be governor too. What is he still doing in government?
So now that's the question now. It's obvious that Labaran Mako is my friend. Labaran Mako was the deputy governor. You know what I'm saying now? He was the commissioner for information in Nasarawa. Then from there he became the deputy governor. Yes, if he aspired to become the governor of Nasarawa state, then we have to look at the zoning system there. But I know so they also have their own permutation there. But okay, if that is the case, Labaran Mako is interested in the governorship of Nasarawa state. There's no doubt about it. Why has he not left office?
But how does it also sell? Or how does it also help a current office holder when you say, if for instance your former chief of staff did something, which you think is reprehensible and doesn't help you, becomes a liability for you, contesting an election again? How do you come up with maybe the real reason and still retain him as your friend? Because you will think that
in politics, you don't, once you are holding the position of the president of a country, sympathy or personal interest does not come in. It is the interest of the nation that should be a thing or concern to you. People could regard you to be callous. Let it be. The position is that if I were Mr. President, if Obiadome has done any, or in fact he done anything wrong, I would say, go give it to Abati, tell the world what he has done, and let it be. Then people will now begin to believe government. Now that people are now doubting whatever is coming out of government, is he helping government in any way?
What about this part? Let's comment on this before we go. The last part of the rider for the Guardian, where he says,
anti-graft agencies.
Yeah, he asks anti-graft agencies to show achievements. So does this suggest to us that, wait a minute, it doesn't mean the AFCC and ICPC, the president doesn't know or hasn't seen what they've done, or do we expect some sack in those offices?
Well, it is left for them. I don't think the agencies that are set up by government, and they are also set up by law, act of National Assembly, they are independent to a certain extent by the actions that they take. I don't think that the president advising these agencies to show whatever you go to up and doing is really neither here nor there. The position is that these people, if you have professionals, they know what to do. And I expect that this agency should be able to have those hands on all the people that have occupied office. So if there is the need for them to investigate anybody, they don't have to wait until the person now decides to be an opposition to government before they begin to investigate the person.
You know, because that reminds us, was there any reason given, some don't still know today, why the former AFCC chairman was removed?
Well, I don't know.
And now we're saying they show achievements. So tomorrow, if these ones go, they could say because we didn't see what they were doing.
Let's watch and see the way the drama is playing out.
Interesting perspective. Mr. Gabriel Omonhinmi, former director in the Ministry of Information and our Public Affairs Analyst. Thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you.